Rex's big night. Rex was nervous. Not the kind of nervous he felt when he had to outrun a pack of raptors or when he tried to sneak past the sleeping T-Rex family down in the valley. No, this was a different kind of nervous. Tonight was prom night. Rex adjusted his bow tie, which was really just a large leaf tied around his neck with vines, and checked his reflection in the still pond. His scales were polished, his claws were filed, and his tiny arms were, well, still tiny, but he had learned to live with that. "You look great, buddy," said his best friend, Terry the pterodactyl, fluttering down beside him. "Do I?" Rex sighed. "What if Sarah-Saurus doesn't like me? What if she thinks my dancing is weird?" Terry rolled his eyes. "Dude, you're a dinosaur. Everyone's dancing is weird. Just stomp your feet and swing your tail. It'll be fine." Rex took a deep breath, which, for a dinosaur, was a very loud sniff, and nodded. He had spent weeks gathering the shiniest rocks and prettiest flowers to make Sarah-Saurus a corsage. He just hoped she'd say yes when he asked her to dance. The prom was held in the Great Clearing, where giant ferns had been pushed aside to make room for dancing. Glow bugs floated in the air like tiny lanterns, and a nearby volcano provided a dramatic yet slightly dangerous backdrop. The music? Well, let's just say the beat was provided by a chorus of howling dinosaurs and the rhythmic thumping of tails against the ground. Rex spotted Sarah-Saurus near the snack table, which was just a pile of fresh leaves and a suspicious-looking berry punch. She looked amazing. Her scales shimmered in the firelight, and she had woven vines into her crest like a crown. Summoning all his courage, Rex stomped over. Hey, Sarah," he said, his voice cracking slightly. "You look really nice. Like, really nice. Like the nicest dinosaur I've ever seen." Sarah-Saurus giggled. "Thanks, Rex. You look pretty sharp, too." Rex held out the corsage. "I, made this for you, if you want it." Sarah's eyes lit up. "I love it!" She let him tie it around her wrist, which was tricky with his tiny arms, but they managed. Then came the moment of truth. Rex took a deep breath. "Do you, maybe, want to dance?" Sarah grinned. "I thought you'd never ask." As they made their way to the dance floor, Terry gave Rex a thumbs up from the sidelines. The music swelled, a mix of roaring, chirping, and the occasional distant meteor sizzling through the sky, and Rex and Sarah danced under the stars. Sure, he stepped on her tail a few times, and yes, at one point he knocked over a nearby stegosaurus, but Sarah didn't seem to mind. As the night went on, Rex realized something. Prom wasn't about being perfect. It was about having fun, being yourself, even if yourself was a dinosaur with comically small arms, and sharing the moment with someone special. And as the sun began to rise over the Cretaceous horizon, Rex knew one thing for sure. This was a night he'd never forget. The morning after prom, Rex couldn't stop thinking about Sarah-Saurus. Their dance had been clumsy, their conversations full of awkward pauses, but something just felt right. So, with Terry's encouragement and a lot of nervous pacing, Rex decided to do the bravest thing he'd ever done, even braver than the time he stole eggs from the carnivorous nest. He was going to propose. Rex spent weeks searching for the perfect engagement rock, not too jagged, not too plain, just shiny enough to impress. He finally found it, a smooth, glittering obsidian stone, polished by ancient rivers. One evening, under the glow of fireflies, Rex led Sarah to their favorite spot near the Great Clearing. His tiny hands trembled as he held out the rock. "Sarah," he began, voice cracking, "you're the most amazing dinosaur I've ever met. Will you be my mate?" Sarah's eyes widened. Then, with a joyful roar that startled a flock of nearby pteranodons, she nodded. "Yes!" Rex was so excited he accidentally knocked over a tree with his tail. Planning a dinosaur wedding wasn't easy. First, they had to pick a venue. The volcano ridge was dramatic but risky. The watering hole was scenic but crowded. Finally, they settled on the Meadow of Echoes, where the wind carried sounds beautifully, which is important since dinosaur vows tended to be loud. Next, the guest list. Rex wanted to invite everyone. Herbivores, carnivores, as long as they promised not to eat the guests, even the grumpy old ankylosaurus who never smiled. Sarah took charge of decorations, weaving vines and flowers into arches. Terry, as best pterodactyl, organized the aerial dance performance. The music would be provided by a chorus of Sarah-Saurus, whose haunting calls made for the perfect wedding soundtrack. On the day of the wedding, Rex stood at the altar, a giant flat rock, his claws fidgeting. The guests had arrived, triceratops in flower crowns, raptors on their best behavior, even a sleepy brachiosaurus peering over the treetops. Then, the music began. A deep, resonant hum filled the air as Sarah appeared, her scales shimmering with dew and pollen. She wore a garland of luminous mushrooms and walked slowly, her tail swaying gracefully. Rex's heart pounded like a meteor impact. The elder Diplodocus, a wise old dinosaur who had seen many matings, presided over the ceremony. "Do you, Rex, promise to hunt the finest prey for Sarah, to protect her from predators, and to never let your tiny arms stop you from giving the best hugs?" "I do!" Rex bellowed. "And do you, Sarah, promise to share your nesting grounds with Rex, to roar at anyone who disrespects him, and to always laugh at his terrible jokes?" "I do!" Sarah roared, shaking the leaves off nearby trees. "Then, by the power of the Mesozoic era, I now pronounce you mate and mate." The crowd erupted in cheers, stomps, and enthusiastic tail thumps. The reception feast was legendary. Fresh ferns, ripe fruit, and a towering berry cake which Rex immediately face-planted into. The dancing was chaotic but joyous, with dinosaurs of all species stomping, spinning, and occasionally crashing into each other. As the sun set, Rex and Sarah slipped away to their new nest, built high on a cliff where they could see the stars. "You know," Sarah said, nuzzling against him, "I'm glad I said yes to you at prom." Rex grinned. "Best decision of my life, besides stealing that obsidian rock." And as the two dinosaurs curled up together, listening to the distant calls of their fellow creatures, they knew their love would last until the meteor hits. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.